His official weight, 11 stone 10, 164 U.S. pounds. He is making his professional debut here at Event City tonight in Manchester. Professional boxing's next big name, Hennessy Sports' newest member and son of legendary former super middleweight champion of the world, Chris Eubank, introducing from Brighton, Chris Eubank Jr.
So Chris Eubank Jr. with a chance to really make an impression here against Kirilis Psonko. Extraordinary entrance to the ring. And his dad is very much at ringside with a big smile on his face. And this is the start for Chris Eubank Jr. He looks in great shape. He's been sparring George Groves and apparently, rumour would have it, doing well. Quick hands and just that touch of arrogance that his father had as well. Against Kirilis Psonko here, who may well be out of his depth, the Lithuanian. Well, he did fight Domenico Spada, a class fighter. Lost in 4 rounds in July.
Tonight, you know, you have to give the guy credit because he's like a seasoned pro. We know now, like Psonko's not a real big test, but just his demeanour in the ring, the way he conducts himself, the way he moves, the way he jabs, you know, he's jabbing like a seasoned pro.
He looks very good so far. The high guard there of Psonko. On the front foot, pushing his man back and trying to find a way through. Already a cut under the eye of Kirilis Psonko here. Right hand there from Chris Eubank Jr. Had a very good amateur career. Clearly very, very skillful, and now needs to make this seamless transition into the pros. Psonko backed up again. Eubank's got the centre of the ring, and it couldn't have gone much better this opening round for Chris Eubank Jr. Psonko looks game, but little else, and Eubank takes it comfortably. And we can hear now from Chris Eubank Sr, who's with Joe Tidy.
Chris, first round, how do you feel?
Well, the opponent has a very good guard, and he can't get through with a lot of punches, but I think he should go to his body, or in fact, excuse me, 1 second.
Oh, I think he's giving some advice. What was that advice there, Chris?
Just to go to his body, because obviously I'm speaking to an audience. Well, I think if he goes to the body, I think he'll probably make more of an impact in this.
Aim for the body.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So the advice from Dad is to aim for the body. And need to be careful not to make it too much of a show. This young man making his professional debut with, he hopes, a very serious career in front of him. Must become his own man and not be overshadowed. Well, that's going to be pretty tough.
Well, the advice from his father was spot on, because Psonko's guard here, like, it's watertight right now, and Eubank Jr. is finding real big problems trying to break it down, because all the punches that he's throwing right now are hitting the gloves and the arms. So what you do is see under his right elbow here. This is where Eubank should be aiming for, under his right elbow with that left hook, because there's a gap there, and he hasn't spotted it yet, but there's a gap there, and he should be whipping that left hook in under the right elbow.
He's already thrown a couple of ferocious body shots under the left elbow. And then he went under the right, and now Psonko is backed up, and the referee's having a good look at this. The guard was still held high, but he has started pounding to the body here, Chris Eubank Jr. Not a question really of if he wins from here on in, it's how he looks and how he impresses and how he takes this fella out. So a test of sorts for Chris Eubank Jr. in his first professional fight. Another good thumping shot to the body, another couple as well. He really has taken Dad's advice on board here. Looked for the big swinging right hand there, but that guard was held high again. Working well behind the jab. Very, very stylish this from Chris Eubank Jr.
Good stuff from Eubank here, but as I was saying, that's a nice left hook under the body, under the short rib. That's what he has to do. You have to look for these openings, and you have to take a step to the side to get a good look round. You just can't stay straight and throw left hooks and right hooks and expect to hit the body. You have to take a half step to the side, either way, and bang in your right hook or your left hook.
Just get the sense that he's looking for that big shot, looking for the big finish, and certainly outworking this fella. But maybe should just switch the angle of attack again to the body. He will be keen to be stylish and impressive. He'll be aware of the pressure that's on him because of the family name. First and foremost, of course, he needs to win. And then we'll hope that the rest will follow. Now he goes to the body a little more.
See, that was a nice left hook to the body, because he didn't take a half step, but he sort of looked around and he whipped the left hook in, and it hit the target and it did a slight bit of damage. But a lot of times he's not looking where he's throwing those left hooks or right hooks to the body. You have to take a half step to the side, and then you can see everything. It just sort of opens up. It's like a Pandora's box, and you just blast away.
Well, they didn't pick an opponent to blast out in the first round. They wanted a very public workout here for Chris Eubank Jr. Good body shots, though, and Psonko just looks like for the first time he was feeling those really significantly. 10 seconds to go in the third here. Chris Eubank Jr. predictably on top, but also looking good. Well, he is looking like he's starting to feel it, Psonko, and this is why, Dave.
Yeah, it's the same thing the whole way through. What Eubank should do here is take a half step to the side. I hate repeating myself, but he's not doing it. You know, he does it sometimes, and other times he doesn't. But if he did do it, he'd have a lot more success with those body shots, because you can see exactly where the target is then once you do that. He is durable, Dave, there's no doubt about that, but Eubank hasn't caught him with a good clean shot yet. Every punch that's being thrown here is bouncing off the arms, the gloves, you know. It hasn't been clean to the body or to the head, because Psonko has such a watertight defence here. Eubank is going to have to try and do something to try and break it down. And what I would do right now, I would try, see the shoulders here, big power shots to the shoulders to try and deaden his arms, you know, because I don't think there's any danger of Psonko knocking Eubank out or stopping Eubank. But when you have a guy who's being he's so in a shell like Psonko is, you can take chances, you know, you can throw caution to the wind.
It is still his first fight, we should remember. Chris Eubank Jr. He might share the name, but he isn't his father, and he has to learn, and this is a good learning process for him. He's got Psonko just backed up, and again fires that right to the body. Really good hand speed. That has been evident so far this evening. Good right hand that time, he found a way through. Is Psonko starting to will? Well, he's stopped it. Stopped in the fourth, just the accumulation of pressure. And Chris Eubank Jr. starts with a win here in Manchester. A slightly unsatisfactory finish maybe, but a win, Dave McCauley, is a win.
A win's a win, but what he did was he just piled the pressure on here, and he threw punch after punch, body, head, and he just banged away. And the referee probably thought, or said to himself, look, I'm going to stop this fight, because Psonko isn't replying. All he's doing is he's receiving. And as I said before, punches aren't vitamins, and the more you take, the worse they are for you, and that's what the referee thought. So that's why he stepped in and stopped the fight.
Nice moment there between the fighters, and there will be definitely an element of respect there. He made himself hard to beat, Psonko, but Eubank Jr. getting the win with a stoppage in the fourth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee of this fight, Michael Alexander stops this bout at 1 minute and 46 seconds of round 4. The winner, fighting out of the red corner from Brighton, Chris Eubank